Welcome everybody to my YouTube station, Drone Life. I have the DJI Neo here today. It's a very versatile drone, and I have been flying it for like maybe 2 months now. There's so many things you can do with this drone. You can fly it autonomously, or you can use your phone, or you can use the DJI N3 remote control. RC N3, this remote, this is for better range, better features, and it pretty much gives you all the functions of this Neo. Like I was saying, it's a few things that really fascinate me about this drone is that it's so versatile. You have the AI smart functions on here. As you can see, I got the Fly Mode combo kit. You get 3 batteries, a charging hub, and also it's always best, as you can see, I labeled the batteries 1, 2, 3. So that way I can recycle them, charging them, and not using the same battery repetitively or anything like that. It helps your batteries to have a longer lifetime on them. But it charges them according to whatever battery that you put in it. You can put all 3 batteries in, and the hub is gonna charge the one that has the most charge on. That's the one it's gonna start with, and then so forth. You're gonna get to charge on the second and the third, according to which one has the most charge. Now, as far as the Neo, I'm gonna show you. Now what I'm doing, I'm using a 3rd battery. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the phone to show you the functionality of the Neo and what's the best settings to get the best out of your drone. This is not a full unboxing tutorial, but I've been flying it, like I say, for 2 months, and I'm going to show you the best way to achieve the most out of this DJI Neo. As you can see, I added some weight to it because it only weighs 135 grams, and it's supposed to be able to stand wind levels, 4 level winds level. I have been out there in 4 level winds. It pretty much handled itself. It was blowing a little bit, but that's why it's important to make sure you have ample enough satellites, because the more satellites you have, the better the positioning of the drone and connected to the DJI RC N3 controller or your phone. Now, you ain't gonna get much range off the phone because it's limited to how many meters that it let you go out with your phone, or foot. I think it's around about roughly, when I did use the phone, I think it let me get out to like 170 something feet or so, and that was the extent of that. But to get, like, I think the range for this DJI Neo with your RC N3 controller is like 10 kilometers. So that don't mean that I'm, telling someone to take and fly 10 kilometers away from it, because you're supposed to stay within a line of sight when flying your drone. But it lets you know that AccuSync 4 transmission that the DJI Neo has for many of the drones it just lets you know how stable your connection is from your drone to your RC controller. So moving right along, I have done some alterations to this drone, but to make it better, I even cut a few of the blades off, but that's another video. And I had to add propeller prompts now, which did change the performance and also made it quieter. It's much quieter with these propellers opposed to the stock propellers that the DJI Neo came with. And they like $12 on Amazon for the air propellers. But it makes a difference. And I noticed a difference when I'm flying it. Now I don't have the FPV goggles or the controller yet, but that manual mode using the FPV goggles and controller is going to give you a whole nother experience. Like I said, this drone is autonomous. It does a lot to be small. It has a lot of features and functions, and it's good for beginners. This is a good beginner's drone, and you know, you're gonna find yourself enjoying the many features for whatever your needs may be, whether it's for, you know, aerial photography or whatever, video photography. You're gonna enjoy this drone. Now, as far as the lens on here, is a 1/2" CMOS lens. And the aperture is fixed on it, so you have to definitely get ND filters. I have some coming. I haven't received them yet, but you get the best video and photo out of with ND filters. I have the ND filters coming, ND8, ND16, and ND32, because that will prevent a lot of photosynthesis and shadow and everything that might, you know, not give you the best quality that you can get. So the ND filters will make a difference. That will be in another video. I will share that with you. But let me show you the best settings for the DJI Neo. DJI RC-N3 controller. Here, you see down the bottom of the remote control, you have your thumbnails. I'm gonna take them out and put them in. And you have up top here, you have your video and photo button. You can switch in between when connected. You have your strobe for your gimbal up and down. Over here on the left hand side of the control, you have the functionality button. You can take and manually add a different setting, like if you wanted if you want the DJI Neo when connected to the DJI RC-N3 controller, if you want to have it on, for instance, cruise control, then you can actually go into settings, which I'm gonna show you. Let me connect real quick. But then you have your power button on the controller. You have your speed settings, which is cinema mode, normal, and sports mode. You have your pause button, which should only be used when you have full control and you know where the drone's going to be landing at. Because hitting that pause button along, you got the hover button, you have the pause button. The pause button could take your drone straight out of the air. But that's something that individually in whatever situation that you may be flying to use that. But the DJI Neo also has that on there. Let me get connected now. Here is where your cable cord, USB Type-C that comes in the remote. That's for it to connect your phone. And see how get ready to connect the phone, connect the cable. You see I'm gonna connect this cable to it. Okay. And let's see here. All right. You press once and then press twice. The second time, it engaged the control. So you press and then press again, hold, and as you see, connect right to the app. Now I'm gonna turn on the Neo, and it go through its orientation. Okay. And we have first person vision, FPV. Okay. Now, as you can see, as you see up here, it says satellite positioning. It say take off with caution because it's still requiring satellites. As you can see up in the corner there, it's still requiring satellites. That's red. When you get white and like usually it's like 9 satellites, then it'll let you know that home point is update. That's what you'll hear come through the controller. Now, going into the settings. So here, all right, I'm at 114 feet for return. That's for the auto return to home. I set it 114 feet because usually the park that I go to, 114 feet is a sufficient enough height to make sure that the drone don't run into anything and it's going to clear whatever obstacles that could get in its way because it'll crash right into it. And bear in mind, folks, that this don't have obstacle avoidance on it. So it just have optical sensors, and what happens is the DJI Neo tracks and follows your face and it follows you. So that's what kind of like allow it to maneuver around objects because it's doing the same pattern for the most part that you're doing. But there's no obstacle avoidance on it. Then you have your, let's see, okay, now here, maximum flight is 400 feet in the state that I live in, Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. I got it set for 393, and that's the maximum altitude that you can go within following the FAA requirements. Now, as far as you can see here, maximum distance, I had that no limit. Still flying within the line of sight. As we move down, it shows here There's no calibration required right now. The calibration, there's no calibration required, so I didn't mess with that. I did a calibration when I first did received the drone, but right now there's no calibration required. So now unlocking geo zone, that's required, and you get in certain spots and you have to have permission to, you know, make sure that it's a fly zone or not. Let's see here. Now here is the return to home. I have it on return to home, not hovering. It's on return to home. And you have, as I was explaining, the emergency propeller stop, which you don't want to do unless the drone is right there where you can see it and it's not going to fall or land somewhere where you ain't going to be able to retrieve your drone. You don't want that to happen, so I leave that on return to home. You also have find my drone. As you see right now, it's showing the location. You know, the map come up and you hit the start button, the drone will start beeping and you'll be able to find the drone in the case of the drone went down somewhere in your proximity and you don't know exactly where it's at. So that's a good feature for DJI Neo. As we move into the controls, you can put it in metric if you like, meters. Me, I use Imperial, which shows the foot, the feet, and you know, you can have it on standard text or large text. Me, the writing is kind of small on the phone, so I use the large text. You know, it's more easy to see. You have your gain and your tuning expo, and as you see, you have the max horizontal speed, how fast you want the drone to descend and ascend. It shows you the max speed, horizontal speed. It shows you the max ascend speed, and you can do these adjustments according to what suits you. Me, I got them pretty fast. I got them all the way up. The angular velocity, now I have that on 31 because you don't want your angular velocity to be moving too fast and it's not going to give you that cinematic look that most drone enthusiasts are looking for. So as you see, the brake sensitivity, I have my brake sensitivity up to 150. I like it to pretty much stop on a dime. Now, if I'm filming, I don't really have to worry about it being up that fast. I mean, to stop that sharp, because usually when I'm filming and getting some aerial video photography or so, I'm usually moving in a cinematic setting that's on the DJI and NC Control. As you can see here, see, I just turned it on cinematic, so it's not going to really break fast. And as you can see, you can see up there, turn cinematic mode, and then normal, and then you have
obstacle sensing unavailable. Fly with caution.
As you can see, it said obstacle prevention is unavailable because anytime, even with the drones that has obstacle avoidance, only 360 obstacle avoidance, when flying in sports mode, that's not engaged. So you have to be careful because you will run a drone into something, an object or something, because the obstacle avoidance is not engaged when it's in sports mode. So just keep that in mind. Okay, So that's the brake sensitivity. This is your expo. The down, the height, the roll. You can adjust that. Me, I don't mess with that gain tuning because you can't get it back. It's pretty much set when you buy it, so you don't have to mess with that gain, that particular setting. And here's your functionality button. As I was explaining, the functionality button on the left-hand side of the controller, that allows you to put what settings you want to put. You can press the FN key to add the down gimbal tilt, where it automatically do it, and you don't have to use your strobe button on the NRC right here if you don't want to. But that's one of the that you can set to this function button right here on the top left-hand side of the NC controller, and you can double tap it for cruise control when you're up in the air and you want to do other things like mess with the gimbal or anything. In other words, you can just put it in cruise control in the drone and keep the same speed, height, and travel in the whatever direction you have it going in. So that's the functionality button right there that you can set the different settings on it if you want to. So press once, you're going to get whatever you set to it for the first setting, and which could be the gimbal up and down, and then you have press it twice and you can make it engage the cruise control. So that's a good feature to have. Okay. So, and this is the RC calibration, which you didn't ask for. You got the you got the RC calibration, and you would have to calibrate it according and fit any need, but I haven't messed with that. It didn't ask for that to be calibrated, so I didn't mess with that. Now moving on to the camera settings. All right, you have the format, and right now the color format is normal. You have the coding format, which using the Hertz 2.65, you will get better transmission as far as formatting and efficiency, compressing to make the exposure smaller. I stay with the 2.4. It's easier to compress. It's easy to take in and transfer to from your SD card, because you're doing a compressed, compatibility with your image and everything, and your quality. Moving along, you have your video subtitles. I'll just leave that on. Your app recording, so that way you can record what you're actually seeing. You see it from the FPV point of view, from the drone point of view, and you have your noise reduction. You have pure, you have natural. I usually leave it on natural. Pure seems to incorporate a little bit more sound that, I'd rather have it. I prefer natural because you're getting just exactly what's coming through the mic. anti-flicker, I leave that on auto. That keeps the everything from actually, glitching or looking jello is like and everything. So auto for the anti-flicker. The histogram here, that's for this little square you see right there. That's for the exposure. As you can see, I had my exposure set already. That's a good setting for it. You see, as you can see in the histogram, you see that even though I'm indoor, the light that is entering the lens is pretty much in the center. That's where you want your settings to be at. So that's what I have it at. You have an overexposure warning, which a lot of times going to show you the black and white lines where something is overexposed and it's getting a lot of photosynthesis. So that's going to let you know which part of the photosynthesis is on the first person view, which is overexposed. So that's a good feature to have. You can use the EV to make adjustments on that. Here you have your grid line. I use this particular one, which has a little X in the center of the screen. That gives you the best focus when you're trying to focus in on something, or if you're trying to do an orbit or a helix or anything of that nature. You get your best point of view with one of these grid lines here. I use that one. It definitely keep you lined up and show you exactly where you want the direction of your drone at the time, and it give you direct angle on that. Frame guide, I don't use that. That's off. White balance is on auto. Keep the white balance on auto. You have your sharpness, I leave that pretty much on 0. The noise reduction, that's on 0. Storage, as you can see, I use some of the storage, but you get 22 gigabytes that's available internal storage on the DJI Neo, so that's good. You can add, well, you have an SD card that you can have in your phone, but you do come equipped with 22 gigabytes of storage, so that makes a big difference. That's what makes this drone so autonomous, because you can just take it out and fly it. You don't have to do all that, inserting an SD card and all that stuff, because it already has its own internal storage. So you can capture things that you wouldn't normally be able to capture with a lot of the other drones, because you got to take it out, you got to set up what you see me have set up now on the phone to the NC controller. Whereas though with this drone, you catching a nice sunset or so, you can just pull the drone out, cut it on, and catch it back. Just like that. You don't have to do nothing but power it up and get the moment. So that's a good feature. You have your custom photo names, so you can just do that according if you want your catch when recording. I have that on. So your mic, I have a DJI mini mic too. I'll show that in another video, but that helps when you connect the mic to it. It kind of allows the propellers to the DJI Neo not to be heard, which is good. It muffles them out, and you can just hear the voice, and that's a good feature too to have, because everybody, talk about how loud the DJI Neo is. It's 135 grams, so the drone have to have that type of, thrust with it in order for it to perform like it performs because it's so light. But I don't have no problems with it. So far, I'm enjoying it. It's a very excellent drone, and like I said, it's so autonomous and you can do so many versatile things with it. You can fly so many ways. So that's a really good thing about this drone. Okay, now I'm going to the transmission, and I have it on, for transmission, I have it on a dual band because you want to get the best connection that you possibly can get. So 5.8 gigahertz is for, you can get a good fair amount distance with that 5.8 gigahertz, but the 2.4 is a narrower band than the 5.8 gigahertz. I like to put it on a dual band because it will transmit and keep a signal. So the best setting for that to have it on dual band, because you will get the best signal. And like I say here, this is a very advanced signal that DJI Neo has. Well, all the DJI drones, the OcuSync 4 is very, effective, and you have a very solid connection and transmission. Channel mode is on auto. As you can see, this gives you and let you know the best transmission, your status, with the band, and here that's just the Wi-Fi connection and so forth, the name of your drone, your firmware, and sometimes I have updates. Ask me to check to see, and my firmware is up to date. Okay, so I did that last time. You had fly safe data. You have
aircraft overheating, powering off automatically. Let aircraft cool.
Now aircraft is getting ready to cut off because it's over here. It's been running for a while. You usually have a fan, but it's pretty comfortable in here. And you have your serial numbers and all that like that. Now, the way I have this set up, like have you seen, the drone has, very good signal. I'm gonna have to wait for it to cool for a minute. I'll be right back with you in 1 sec. Welcome back. So I had to change the battery because that battery sat in there overheating as I was showing you the settings. As you can see, I had the best possible settings as far as the camera and the quality. Yes, so it's good quiet, and we're indoors, and I have it set for the best feature. Now, I'm gonna turn the drone on, but this is the first person view, and as you can see, the histogram still has the spikes in the middle that allow you to have the best video quality and settings you can possibly have with this Neo. I mean, the camera is okay, but it's not no DJI Mini 4 Pro or Mini 3 Pro or DJI Mini 3. The Mini 3 has a very good picture. I sent that drone back because it had some issues, but I love flying that DJI Mini 3. But if so far this is being any benefit to you, I'm hoping that it is. I mean, I enjoy flying this. This is a very good drone, and please like and subscribe to me so you can get more videos and see what other qualities that this DJI Neo had. Like I say, I'm gonna get into these air screw propellers in another video, and let you see the performance of what I have done to this Neo to give it the best performance. So again, let's get this drone up in the air so you can see the quality of it and how it performs. This is a very, very good drone, versatile drone. Now, usually I would hit the takeoff button, as you can see here. I hit the takeoff button, but by me being indoor, I'm gonna do it manually. I'm gonna put the two thumbsticks in, and you see warning. The zone, because I'm indoors. But as you can see, it engaged the Neo. Adjust this camera. Hovering. And you can see the FPV mode. And as you see, I'm up yaw. I'm gonna bring the gimbal down. Stable even in the house. Look at how stable it is. And move the gimbal up. Very stable. And I'm just yawing it. Very clear, look at that. That's the best camera setting of what I just showed you. And this is how you get the benefit. And if you take and look at my video to show the outdoor flight for this, of how I have the setting set, you will see that you're going to enjoy and get the most out of your DJI Neo. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And check out the video to show you exactly how this Neo performs at its best and top performance. Getting the most out of your Neo. Thanks again. Happy flying. And the video will be linked to this to show you the ability of the setup for the DJI Neo. Thank you. Until next time. And remember to please hit the like or subscribe to see more videos and more things to come with the Neo, because it just seems to get better with all the different things that you can do with this. It's autonomously, and it won't break the bank. You ain't got to worry about breaking the bank. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.